Greetings from Mock IAS Gate Academy. This is your Girish, and today our topic is going to be Indian National Movement 1857 Revolt, which is a very important event in Indian history, which marked the occasion of our freedom struggle starting. And this rebellion, although was put down by the British successfully, it planted the seed for our freedom struggle, and finally in 1947 we won our freedom. Therefore, this 1857 revolt is a very important topic, and it is used in a very important topic for all the government examination which is related to TNPSC. And it is now used this is also called as India 1857 revolt is also called as first
many
war
questions
of
can be
a very important event.
This
the most important
topic.
leaders
Therefore, I kindly request all of you to
Rani Lakshmibai,
pay attention to this video
Nana
so
Sahib,
that
and
you can score very easily when a question arises
These people
from this
were on the sides of rebels
section.
who rebelled against the British, and
So
the
please
British
let us
Governor
start
General at that
with
time
the
was
events,
Lord
main
Canning,
events.
and he was
The
supported
main
by John Nicholson and
characters who
Hudson,
rebelled
Campbell
against
and
the
Havelock,
main persons who rebelled
James
against
Neil and Campbell.
the British are Rani Lakshmibai, who is from Jhansi or Central India; Begum Hasrat Mahal, she was the wife of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, who is from Lucknow; Nana Sahib and Tantia Tope from Kanpur; Bakht Khan and Bahadur Shah too from Delhi. And during the rebellion, Lord Canning was the Governor General. John Nicholson and Hudson successfully put down Bakht Khan and Bahadur Shah too in Delhi. Likewise, Campbell and Havelock in Kanpur against Nana Sahib and Tantia Tope. Havelock, Outram, James Neil and Campbell put down Begum Hasrat Mahal in Lucknow. Hugh Gross put down Rani Lakshmibai in Jhansi or in Central India. Now let us see the main events of revolt and the main causes of revolt, main content of revolt.
Now the other places of revolt which happened also are BR, Rohilkhand, Mathura, Assam, Meerut, Delhi, which was supported by Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh, Maulavi Abdullah, Devi Singh, Manira Diwan, Kadam Singh, Hamid Ali Khan. These people were not so important,
respectively,
but probably maybe a question might arise. That's why
Kunwar
it is
Singh
here.
and
So please
Anmar Singh,
try to
Maulavi
remember all
Abdullah
these names.
in Rohilkhand, Devi Singh in Mathura, Maniram Diwan in Assam, Kadam Singh in Meerut, Hamid Ali Khan in Delhi. Actually, this 1847 rebellion is culmination of many revolts across the country. This is why it is very significant, because there were many insignificant events such as Velur Mutiny, Palakkad rebellion in South India, and many other places also rebelled before. But first time almost a pan-India type rebellion happened only in 1857. Therefore, this 1857 revolt is a very important event. Now let us see the content.
Causes of the
We
revolt.
will be going through causes of revolt, then main events of the revolt, why it failed, impact results of the revolt, and what is the criticism about this 1857 revolt. The immediate cause of the revolt is introduction of this type of cartridge. Please see the cartridge picture which will help you in remembering the immediate cause easily. This cartridge is manufactured in such a way that the cartridge has to be bitten off to remove the bullet, and then it can be only loaded then. Therefore, what happened is there were rumors spreading out that this cartridge was greased with pig and cow fat. So according to the rumors, pig fat and cow fat was used in grease of this cartridge, and therefore
it was very irritating for both Hindus as well as Muslims to bite this cartridge, because as everybody knows, cow is a revered animal, it is a holy animal for Hindus, and pig is a disgusting animal for Muslims. So both of them were offended to bite this cartridge. Although the company informed all Hindus and Muslims that these cartridges were not greased with pig and cow fat, nobody believed them, and this finally led to the rebellion. But this is only the immediate cause of the revolt, and there were many other underlying causes which built up pressure and steam into Indian public and Indian rulers, which finally led to the 1857 revolt. Now let us see into the causes of revolt, which are categorized into different categories. Now let us first see the political causes. The Lord Wellesley policy of subsidiary alliance caused some discontent among many rulers of India. Then Lord Dalhousie came up with the policy of doctrine of lapse, through which Oudh, Satara, Sabalpur, Jagpur, Jhansi, Burma, Assam and Coorg and Punjab were annexed into British Empire. The policy of doctrine of lapse is nothing but if a ruler doesn't have a biological heir, the kingdom is directly absorbed into the crown. Then Nana Sahib and Dundu Pant, who were adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, were not given their acclaimed pension, which led to discontent among Nana Sahib and Dundu Pant. Now let us go into the economic causes. Introduction of machine-made goods by British destroyed the indigenous cottage industries. That is, the machine-made goods from Britain were imported and it destroyed the handmade goods of Indian manufacture. This led to discontent among many Indian manufacturers and farmers who were affected directly by these things. Then Lord Bentinck's rent-free tenures reduced the landowners to poverty. Then a new plantation system introduced in 1833. Indigo plantation in Bengal and Bihar. These all were the economic causes. Now let us see the social and religious causes. British social reforms such as widow remarriage, abolition of sati, education of girls and Christian missionaries caused some discontent among Indians. That is, British tried to interfere into the socio-religious structure of India, such as making sure widows get remarried legally. In those days, widows were not allowed to remarry according to Hindu's norms. And sati is the culture of a wife being burnt alive in the pyre of her husband, and they abolished sati and tried to impose it on the Hindus, which led to discontent among Hindus, and also Christian missionaries were trying many ways to convert all the Hindus into Christians. Then they tried to impose taxes on lands belonging to temples and mosques, which were tax free till then. Then Hindus' law of property were changed to favorably to get Christians also get ancestral property. In that way, everybody thought British were trying to convert many Hindus into Christians and finally make India a Christian country. Then some military causes are the General Service Enlistment Act by Lord Canning, ordering all recruiters to work overseas. Till then, many regiments were not allowed. Many regiments were not forced to work in overseas conditions. Many regiments were happy to work only in India, but once he introduced this General Services Enlistment Act, everyone were forced to work at least once in foreign countries. They were deployed in overseas countries, which led many to believe that they would become impure in foreign countries. This hurt the sentiments of many regiments people, many upper caste soldiers. Then the Indian soldiers were paid low salaries, about 1/10 or 1/6 of the salaries of British counterparts. Then there was no prospect of promotion. Up to a level only Indians can rise. After that it was only purely British, and they were not given foreign service allowance or bata, which were given earlier. These were the military causes which led to much discontent among Indians. Now we have already discussed these things, that is the main rebels, the rebellion leaders, the place of the rebellion, and who are the British generals or colonels or military officers who put down the respective rebels in their places. If you see, the most prominent leader is Rani Lakshmibai, who was fighting for Jhansi. Because of her doctrine of lapse, her kingdom had fallen into hands of British, and she was against it, and she fought bravely, but she lost it. Now if you go through the chronological events, if you see in March 29, 1857, Mangal Pandey, a soldier in Barakpur regiment, attacked his seniors when he was asked to bite the cartridge, and he refused to bite the cartridge. As I explained before, it was thought that the cartridge was greased with cow and pig fat, and he belonged to the 34th Infantry. The British transferred, and when he attacked his seniors, he was supported by his fellow officers also, fellow soldiers, by not restraining him when he was attacking his seniors, and this led to the entire regiment being transferred, the entire Barakpur infantry, to Meerut, and consequently Mangal Pandey was hanged to death after 3-4 days. As the British successfully put down the rebellion there. And on May 9, 1857, 85 sepoys of 3rd Cavalry Regiment were sentenced for long-term imprisonment for refusal to use the cartridge. In May 10, 1857, sepoys at Meerut shut down their officer and started their march to Delhi. General Evitt was helpless to stop the march. Lieutenant Wilkes, officer of Delhi, could not stop the soldiers. Bahadur Shah too was consequently proclaimed the Emperor of India by the rebels. Those were the chronological order of the revolt, and Bahadur Shah too was the last Mughal emperor, but the rebellion was not a successful one. It was successfully put down by the British, and they were successful in killing many rebels, and we will let us see what are the main causes of failure for the rebellion. Now the mutiny was put down with the help of other Indian soldiers drawn from Madras Army, Bombay Army and the Sikh regiments. This shows that the rebellion had no unity and they did not have any general plan. The English used modern techniques like railways, telegraph network and postal system for information, communication and for travel. So the British regiments were moving faster than the rebellion and they used postal system effectively to put down the rebellion. And also mainly, as we all know, British had the mastery overseas. English army including the Sikh, Rajput and the Gurkha battalions and many other battalions remained faithful to British. Sindhya of Gwalior, the Holkar of Indore, Nizam of Hyderabad, Raja of Jodhpur, Nawab of Bhopal, Rana of Nepal, rulers of Patiala, Sindh, Kashmir provided active supports to the British. Now these are the princely states rulers, and what is princely state, everything we will discuss in our other videos. And moneylenders and merchants also did not support the revolt. The middle class and modern educated Indians remained neutral during the revolts. These are some of the reasons why this led to the cause of the failure of the revolt, the 1857 revolt. Why 1857 revolt was not successful? Now let us see what were the results of the revolt. What was the impact of the revolt? Now let me tell you one thing. The response from British was brutal when this revolt happened. They used all their power to put down this revolt. They ransacked villages, they killed many rebels, their family members, and they started spreading many rumors about Indian rebels to garner support from the homeland as well as other princely state rulers. Now let us see what happened to the prominent rulers who rebelled against the British. Bahadur Shah II was departed to Rangoon, where he died in 1862. His sons and his grandsons were hanged or were forced to die in different manners by the British. The British were cunning in a way that they didn't kill Bahadur Shah II so that they didn't want to hurt anybody's sentiment. Then Nana Sahib escaped to Nepal. Begum Asram Mahal also escaped to Nepal. Rani Lakshmibai fought British in a very brave manner in Jhansi, but she died in battle itself fighting the British. Please see the date on when she died. It was on June 17, 1858. Because this is a very important question, sometimes they might ask the date when Rani Lakshmibai was killed in battle by British. And then you have Tantia Tope, who was betrayed by his friend Man Singh and he was executed in 1859. And what are the other results of the revolt? It put an end to East India Company. That is, the East India Company's rule in India was stopped, and this came directly, and our India came directly under the rule of British Crown. Now the Governor General of India post was converted to Viceroy of India. There were no more Governor Generals. Lord Canning became the last Governor General of India, and also it was the starting of the post of Viceroy of India. The Board of Control and Court of Directors were also abolished, and since it was directly under British Crown, this was abolished. Then Office of the Secretary of State of India and Indian Council was created. The Indian Council had 15 members. Complete religious freedom was granted to the Indian people. That is, a proclamation was made that the crown will never interfere with the local beliefs and sentiments, and Hindus and Muslims were allowed to practice on their own way, but it was not followed fully in the spirit of the British. They just gave a namesake offer like that. Later on, Christian missionaries tried to convert many Hindus and Muslims into Christians, and this continued till 1947. But on paper, they said they will never interfere with Hindus and Muslims' beliefs. Now, this led to the 1858 Queen Proclamation, which is called Magna Carta of the Indian people. It was called like that by Surendranath Banerjee. Magna Carta is a English term in which the king transferred some of his powers to the people. It was an historical day in British rule, and this 1858 Queen Proclamation is called Magna Carta of the Indian people. And sometimes there will be a question who said Magna Carta of the Indian people. Then you will have to answer it is Surendranath Banerjee. It has been highlighted. Please understand why it has been highlighted. As I told you before, the Indian administration was brought directly under British Crown. Lord Canning announced this in the Royal Darbar, which took place in November 1st, 1858, Allahabad. As I told you, Lord Canning became the last Governor General of India as well as the first Viceroy of India, as the post of Governor General of India was totally abolished and everyone became Viceroy of India. Doctrine of lapse was withdrawn. To say that there was no intention of British to annex any Indian states, but always they were trying to annex Indian states. Later stages they annexed many Indian states also. Now let us see about thesis and criticism. Who said what about 1857 revolt? Sir John Lawrence called it a Sepoy mutiny. Our V.D. Savarkar called it the first war of independence. As I told you, this is again an important question. Many times a question like, what is the other name of 1857 revolt is asked. When asked, you will have to say first war of independence. Sometimes they will say, who called 1857 revolt the first war of independence? Then you will have to say it is V.D. Savarkar. And R.C. Majumdar called it was a series of isolated incidents cumulated. S.N. called it a revolt is part of struggle for Indian independence. Now, as I told you, now let us come to a conclusion. What happened? Let us recollect what all happened in 1857 revolt. That is, there was growing discontent among people due to various social, economic, religious and political military causes, which continued to put pressure and discontent among Indian people, including both Hindus as well as Muslims, against the British due to various causes which were discussed earlier. Please try to remember all those causes. And the immediate cause of the rebellion was nothing but the ghost cartridge, which had rumors spreading out that it had cow and pig fat. So the military people were not willing to bite off the cartridge, and they rebelled against their senior military officers, and they marched towards Delhi, and they proclaimed Bahadur Shah II as their emperor. In other places, due to other causes, many people rebelled, and all these rebellions formed together the 1857 revolt, and they captured Delhi and many other places to an extent. But they were not able to hold this rebellion together because they did not have a general cause or a unity among them, which was used by these British people. And British people, what they had a more advantages were because they were technically advanced, like they were using postal system, they were using railways, all those things had them communication among themselves, like and many regiments like Madras regiment, Sikh regiment, and many other princely state rulers like Oudh, Jabalpur, and Nawab of Hyderabad, everybody were actively supporting the British. So with all these helps, they managed to put down the rebellion directly. So it was, the rebellion failed. After the rebellion failed, many soldiers were hanged to death. The leaders of the rebellion fled. Some were sent to Rangoon. Some were killed in battle like Rani Lakshmi Bai. Some were betrayed by their friends. Some fled to Nepal. Ultimately, it led to Queen Proclamation, which abolished the rule of East Indian Company, which started the rule of direct crown in India. It marked an important event in Indian rule because British crown started directly ruling our people. And finally, some religious freedom also was granted to Hindus and Muslims of India, which led to some content among Indians, which led to some space in India, and British utilized it very well to rule us for the next 90 years. These were some of the, now please, I hope you would have recollected all this. Now let us move into the previous year solved questions. That is, now we will talk about TNPSC previous year solved questions. Please go through the question. The question is, 1857 revolt was sparked off due to the reason. They are asking the immediate cause. The immediate cause was nothing but greased cartridge. The Queen's Proclamation has been called Magna Carta of Indian people. According to this, which one is not correct? According to Queen's Proclamation, it put an end to East Indian Company's rule. So the option is, it put not an end to the East Indian Company's rule. So this is the correct option. Sambalpur was made part of British Empire through doctrine of lapse. Who led the 1857 revolt in central India? It was led by none other than our brave Queen Rani Lakshmi Bai. The author of the book Indian War of Independence 1857 is V.D. Savarkar. Who called Queen Victoria's proclamation of 1858 as the Magna Carta of our rights and liberties? It was called by none other than Surendranath Banerjee. Who announced the proclamation of Queen Victoria at Allahabad in 1958? It was announced by Lord Canning. Now please match the following. Please go through the below characters and their place of rebellion. You will be easily able to match it. So if you see, Nana Sahib is from Kanpur, which is A3. Begum Hasrat Mahal from Lucknow, which becomes B4. Kunwar Singh from BR. And Mangal Pandey from Barakpur. So D2, C1, B4 and A3, which gives us D. And again, please go through the match the following and you will be able to select the answer very easily. Please understand that we have put together all the information in vectorial form also for this purpose only, so that you can remember it very easily. Please see this video properly, pass it wherever you want, and the PDF is also provided by us. Therefore, during this video class and during those PDF, please thoroughly prepare, then you will be able to answer all the questions here. Now let us please come to the conclusion. As I have told you, please recollect whatever happened during the 1857 revolt. This 1857 revolt is a very important question in many places, and please keep your effort. TNPSC Group 2 is coming up. Therefore, TNPSC Group 2 examination aspirants should prepare thoroughly. Please go through our videos also and PDFs also, and make yourself really thoroughly prepared so that you can crack TNPSC Group 2 and become a government graded officer, a gazetted officer. Ultimately, you can become a sub-collector or additional collector or sub-register or district revenue officer, like that. When you crack Group 2, subsequently you can become some collector or something in the future. All you have to do is put your effort for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, and definitely you will become a future government servant. And hope you all will do justice and service to our people by becoming those government servants. And please, if you like our videos, give us your valuable feedback and keep visiting our website and keep subscribing to our videos. Thank you.